It says we're live, so we're gonna get right after this today. How is everyone? How are you all doing on this Wednesday evening? It is supper time here in Alberta, so let's talk about retraining your brain. And I'm getting a lot of this information from the boot camp that I participated in last week for about 7 hours, over 3 days from our mentor Helen Martin. And have you ever been caught in a funk or stuck in a rut in your head, and how you would like to get out of it? So we'll just put up this ticker tape here across the bottom. Wow, Wednesdays retrain your brain. So for those of you who have not met me before or have never caught me live before, my name is Heather Edmondson, and I am coming at you live, like I said, from Medicine Hat, Alberta, Canada. And it is 37 degrees Celsius out this afternoon, so it is hot, hot, hot. So if you see me sweating a bit, even in the air conditioning, it's because it's quite warm here today. So as I was saying, I got a bunch of this information from our mentor, and she kind of shook it up for us and made us really get into our headspace and think about things again, things that maybe we have talked about or learned before, but we need to sometimes get a kick in the butt to start thinking again about where we're at. So I own an e-commerce business, and I assist struggling network marketers, MLM, digital businesses, social shoppers to grow their businesses online with mentorship, education, skills in attraction marketing and social media. And I'm here to provide some value to you, and I hope you gain some takeaways from tonight. So like I said, we're going to hit this hard with retraining your brain. So one thing to get and to help you get out of your funk is to find a mentor or mentorship program that resonates with you. Find somebody that you look up to or you trust, and they can help coach you in the tools that you'll need to learn to, like I said, adjust your mindset, get you out of your funk, get you out of that rut, and help you to move yourself forward into a special place, help you move your brain into the right mindset. But you need to, once you've learned some of these skills from this mentor, you have to just not keep taking notes and putting them up in a binder on the shelf. You actually have to implement some of these things to get unstuck or to move forward. You can't always be in learning mode and never implementing anything. Hello, Mel. Great to see you today. Wonderful that you could jump on here all the way from Australia. That is so awesome. So as I was saying, you want to get out of that rut of being, or out of that mode of being just learning all the time. You have to get out of that, because we get to be comfortable when we're in that learning mode. And by taking action, it gets you out of your comfort zone. And it's better if you challenge yourself. Challenge yourself every day with one thing that scares you. You will grow into a bigger and stronger person by like I said, challenging yourself to do something different, something that scares you. I mean, I'm not saying that you need to go and skydive and jump out of a plane, because that scares the heck out of me. But even if it's little baby steps of something that scares you, it's still advancing you to become a stronger person that way, to grow. One of the things that you can help to grow yourself is not just always ask your mentor or whoever you're following, always ask them for the answers. You have to become resourceful, and you have to learn to do your own research and self-discovery. And Google, Mr. Google is a friend of everybody, so that's a really good resource. And it's like when you're teaching your children or you're teaching young kids how to spell or how to do anything in life, and they're always asking, Mommy, how do you do this? Mommy, how do you do that? And if you answer all of those questions for them and you do everything for them, how are they ever going to learn? It's like, I still know some people that were making their kids lunches for them, and their kids were all in high school. And I'm thinking, how are they ever going to become an adult or ever be able to think for themselves or do anything if mommy or daddy is doing everything for them every day, and they're just kind of going through the motions and just wanting to spend time with their friends, and never ever thinking about all the steps that it takes to run a home, to run a family, and to get them ready to go off to school. So it's the same thing, putting yourself as an adult. if you want to become a better person or become better at your business or whichever way you're looking at going, you need to learn how to do the research. You need to learn how to figure out how things work. I know the other day I was taking apart my rug cleaner that I was trying to steam clean the rugs in our trailer at the lake. And I'm like, this is plastic and it snaps together. It's got to come apart so that I can get it cleaned out, because I could see there's dog hair or whatever in there, or human hair. And I'm like, well, this is totally crazy. Like, two pieces snap together, they should be able to come apart so that you can clean them. And Mel says, absolutely, totally agree with the lunches. Yes, if you do everything for your kids, they're never gonna learn how to think for themselves. Another one is we never paid for our kids insurance for their vehicles. If they wanted to be able to drive a car, they had to work to pay for that insurance, and they had to work to pay for the fuel to go in it, and they had to work to buy that vehicle. We never gave them a vehicle. We helped them purchase it, and then they paid us back. But they had to learn that everything comes at a cost, and they have to figure out the way of how to pay back that cost, because not everything comes for free. Either we're paying for it, somebody's got to pay for it. So they have to learn how to work through the steps of becoming an adult and becoming grown up. And some days it sucks at being a grown up. Some days I don't want to be an adult. I don't want to adult anymore. I want to go and play in the sandbox and play with my friends or whatever it is, right? But yeah, we have to grow up and we have to learn how to figure out things. And like I was saying, taking something apart to try and fix it, it was making me crazy because I couldn't get it apart. But we figured it out eventually, and had to unscrew a few bolts, and then I got it cleaned out. But the same thing in your business. You have to, like I said, follow a mentor, gain the steps and skills from them. And if you're having a struggle with something, either reach out to somebody in your team and ask them maybe how they have solved it, or try and figure it out yourself with, like I said, Mr. Google is a friend of everybody. It's got all kinds of resources in there that you can use. So try not to get yourself caught up in an argument with somebody. That is not a good quality to have if you want to become a leader of other people. You want to have poise and grace and hold your tongue. Sometimes you need to hold your tongue about things, because if you lash out back at that person or that situation, it brings you down to that person's level. And if you're lashing out at them, it's because they are not thinking with their right mind. They are thinking on an emotional side too when they are lashing out at you. You have to take a breather, take a step back, count to 10 if that's what it takes, walk away. Any of those things might work for you, and really evaluate what the situation is and what it is that person is mad at you about, or what you are ready to snap back at them about. It's like when you walk in the house and you've had a bad day and the dog is in the way and you have to kick the dog out of the way. Not that I've ever kicked a dog, but there's some people that would, and it's only because they've had a bad day. And it's not the dog's fault. He hasn't done anything, or she hasn't done anything to deserve that. And she doesn't understand, well, what the heck, what did I do? How come I'm getting yelled at or kicked out of the way? It's the same thing in an emotional situation with a person. You can't lash out back at them. You can't talk down to them and make them feel stupid. I know that with my dad's passed away now, but when he was still around, they start to forget things. The brain starts to wear out. It's just like any moving part in your body. There's only so much muscle memory there, and after a while, some of the things, the synapses don't fire and doesn't remember things, or their brain's not being stimulated enough to remember some things. And being a nurse, I work with a lot of people that have dementia or Alzheimer's, those things, and you just go with it, whatever space or time that they're in. Maybe they're remembering a time when they were a young girl, or maybe they're remembering a time when they were a mother and they had a little baby and they want to carry a little doll around because that's real to them. And if you correct them and say, no, that's not right, that's not the right space that you're in. Today is now 2020 and all those things, and they're like back in 1905, all that's going to do is upset them. And all that's going to do is make them feel stupid if they're still at the point in their digression of the disease or progression of the disease, they will not understand why you're trying to get them in a different mode. The same thing as when you're talking to someone about a business decision, and they can't see it for the next step, or they are arguing with you about how they believe it should turn out, and you know for yourself how the situation is going to play out. You can see the writing on the wall. Sorry, my nose is going to drip here. Sorry about that. My nose is running. These allergies from all the pollen on the trees. Sorry about that. As I was saying, you know how the situation is going to turn out. It was like one of our daughters had a boyfriend, and he was, playing this situation against that situation. And then I said, this is the next thing he's going to say, and this is the next thing. And then a couple of days later, my daughter comes up to me and says, I'm not going to give you all the details of the situation, but she said, Mom, how did you know that he was going to say that? And how did you know that he was going to do that? And I said, because I've lived through some of those situations, and I can read the writing on the wall. As you've heard that saying before, you can read the writing on the wall, and you know exactly where that situation is going to go to. So freaking out on people, getting mad at your pets, slamming doors and crashing and banging and crashing around doesn't solve any problems. It's just your emotions playing out, and you aren't thinking with your is it the frontal part of your brain that makes you have those emotions. So don't make people feel stupid. Don't talk down to them. Don't make them feel that they don't know things. We all start at ground zero, and we all have a learning curve. Doesn't matter what business or industry or life skills that you're trying to learn. We all start somewhere, and we have to learn these skills along the way. So if you want to create a team and become an effective leader, you have to provide that team with value, and you have to make yourself stand out from the crowd. You want to become an authority on whatever it is that whatever it is that you want to be known for. Like, I want to be known for providing education and skills for attraction marketing. So I want to hone in on those skills and provide value to all of you who are watching me now or on the replay. And then people will come to me, hopefully, for some of the answers to some of these questions in this particular field. So become a really good tour guide and learn how to lead them. And when others are uncomfortable, you have to show them what you know and how to get there. They'll give you all kinds of excuses as to why they can't make this commitment, or why they can't make it to the next goal that you are all working towards as a team, because this comes up. But life happens to everybody. Life happens, and life gets in the way unless you make out a plan and set out a goal to work towards. And I said that about reacting with emotions. How you react in stressful situations also shows what kind of leader, what kind of mentor you're going to become. And people are always watching you. So how you react in a situation will come back to you, because either that person or those people are going to want to follow you, or they're not, because of the way you react in situations. So to become a good leader, you want to remain calm, you want to solve problems, and you want to move forward with a solution to that, whatever said problem it is that you are. It's like becoming a boss in a different workspace than just an online space. So yeah, like I said, people are watching you. Try and make sure that the people that are on your team aren't having unrealistic goals, and they're actually managing their expectations. If they just pick a random number out of the air and say, oh, I want to make $10,000 in a month, well, that's all fine and dandy, but how are you going to get to that? Do you realize you have to have X number of sales to make it to that? You have to have X number of touch points with people for them to even have contact with you. It used to be 8 to 10 times you'd have to expose something to a person in a social media space, and now it's up to 20 times for them to repeat seeing you over and over and over again, or hearing the same topic or conversation over and over again before that actually resonates with them, and before they can actually want to interact with you. So have that big conversation about their goals and their dreams, and work out a plan, a 30, 60, 90-day plan, and then work back to today and what has to be achieved every day to make it to that, whatever that's $10,000 a month or whatever that random number is that they picked out of the air. People won't always remember what you say, but they will remember how you make them feel. So even if you solve a situation for a person and you treat them with grace and dignity, they will remember you for that. They might not remember the exact wording for what you've said, but they will remember exactly how you make them feel. So make sure you're treating people like you would want to be treated in return. And like I said, don't make them feel stupid or talk down to them. Don't get caught up in the negative loop of why. Why is this happening to me? Why can't I move forward? Why did he do that to me? Why did the dog pee on the rug? Why? And it's just a negative circle that keeps going around and round and round. You want to change your mindset to be what is your purpose or your vision? What is your intention in life? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to serve? We are all here in this online space to serve others, and a really good way to get your mind in that funk, out of that funk and into a good mindset is to practice some gratitude and saying things like maybe you are worthy of success. You are the only one that can make it happen. So even though you want to be with a certain member of a certain team, all of the actions that you take on that team will create momentum to a certain goal. But if you don't take all those steps to move you towards that goal, you have nobody to blame but yourself. It's like I used to get so nervous and upset when I'd have to write exams through school or when I was taking my nursing, and it all came back to me. Maybe I didn't study enough. Maybe I didn't study enough to have the confidence to feel like, hey, I'm going to ace this exam, because I had, the repetition of repeating it to myself or writing it out or flashcards or whatever it was that I was using to learn and ingraining it into my brain. And maybe I hadn't done that enough to have the confidence to walk into that exam and know that I was going to do okay. It's the same thing in your business. If you don't have a purpose or a vision and you're not working with intention towards that said goal, you have nobody to blame, like I said, except for yourself. So I had nobody to blame about the exams that I wasn't prepared for because I didn't make the time or the effort to study properly for those exams. So some really good principles to stand by for leaders is the word leaders. So LEADERS. And the L is for love. E is for enthusiastic. A is attitude. Ask the questions of your team and then shift their attitude if they have a snotty attitude or a bad, poor attitude. And we're never going to make it to the success goal or whatever. You need to shift them into a different mindset and get down in the trenches and work with them to help them achieve that goal. D is for desire. What do you desire in life? What is it you are working towards? And you have to get that desire embedded in your mind. E is for emulate. Sorry. If you want to be a leader, you have to have the proper traits of a leader. You want to have poise and grace, and you want to keep those emotions in check, especially in situations that can sometimes be explosive. You want to stay in a cool, calm head. I know that when we were dealing with, as a nurse, when we were dealing with some people that were having a mental health issue, and they were getting all agitated and worked up, if you were to talk to them in a calm voice and they were all up here and yelling at you, they would actually have to calm down enough so that they could hear what you were saying. And so that was one of the skills that we were taught, that you have to keep your emotions in check and not get roped into whatever it is that's working them up. And then you can look at the situation with more rationality. R is for respect. So that's how you want to be treated and how you want to treat your team members or other people. So it's your integrity. And S is for success. So every little win that you have, every step of the way, every little win that your team has, even if it's a very small one, ask them on a weekly basis or on a daily basis, what was your win for today? And celebrate that with them, and celebrate them for yourself. What was your win for today? Let me know. And what have you achieved today that makes you feel better about yourself and more comfortable about the goals that you are working towards? So my little quote for today is, be someone everyone looks up to. So be that person. Hopefully you gain some value from some of the things that I shared today. Hopefully that you won't be stuck in your headspace. If you are stuck, reach out to somebody either on your team or in a space like this, and I will gladly try and help you through it. For anyone that wants to expand their knowledge and get out of their comfort zone and has never participated in a Go Live challenge, my mentor is putting on a Go Live challenge that's coming up here August 19th to September 10th. It's for 21 days, and you need to do something for 21 days to establish a new habit. So if you are totally worried about going live like I am here right now, which is the best way to reach your audience nowadays, you can participate in this challenge. I'm going to participate in it as well. And never in a million years would I have ever guessed that I would ever enjoy going live in front of all you guys and sharing some of these tips and secrets and value to help you guys out. I'm here to coach. If you want some coaching, I can help you with a page makeover, and I can provide you with some PDFs about the content that I provided to you for today. So if any of those interest you, just hit me up and I'll get those shared along to you or passed along to you. Thanks everyone for jumping in here live. Thank you, Mel. And I will, anybody on the replay, I will give you a shout out after the fact. And I hopefully you have a rest of your day, a wonderful rest of your day, whatever time of the day it is for you. And Mel, I'll see you later in the group. Take care, guys. Have a good one. See you tomorrow.